This must be the Caesar effect that you have.
Yeah, I think so. But I think really once people hear, I mean, people are trying to buy in because obviously it's a good time, it's a good entry point. But I think once people hear the AMA and what you guys are actually building towards, we should be able to cultivate some good holders here today. So I'm really excited.
We've been up to 850k market cap. But the issue we've got is we get a lot of people who come in and they want it then, they want it now. And after about 12 hours, they realise it's not going to happen instantly. And do you know what I mean? They go, we need investors. You know what I mean? We're not saying it's going to happen today. It may not happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen. It's going to be the biggest thing you will see on the BSC. 100%.
And I'm just kind of getting everything here together because there's so much information to cover for this one. I mean, in terms of the actual blockchain itself, I mean, I'd love to have you maybe. How do I want to start this? I don't want to go too technical too fast, so maybe do a little bit of an overview about your background, your affiliation with the project, and kind of what drew you into the project in the first place. I think that would be a really good starting point, and then we can start to move through some of the more technical aspects as we kind of progress throughout the conversation, if that works. Don't want to hit them too hard.
Yeah, perfect. So for me, it seems years ago, 2 weeks ago, I believe I were on the communal honeypot searching for a different project, and I saw somebody search for this, and I looked into the project and it had been going about 6 hours. So I went in, did a bit of research on the project, and thought, this looks all right. And I invested a little bit of money. Got talking to the team, got talking to the community, and I just realised then it's something special. I'm not about the product itself, just the community and how passionate they are and how they believe and everything. So I just got stuck in, and then Robert came to me and said, would you mind getting involved a little bit? Reason being as well that there's a lot of translation problems, and that's why I do a lot of the talking. Maybe you could call the face of the project. And from there, we've gone from strength to strength. There's been times where people have got a little bit nervous. There's been times where people got angry. There's been times where people have been the most excited they've ever been. There's even been times where I've cried. I've got messages from people from Indonesia and places like that saying how it's changed their life just being part of this project. The multiplications that's happened, being involved and being invested. So it's been a crazy ride in just 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, and I mean, those are some of the things that you love to see in the space. We had a really good talk about that yesterday, the two of us, about those positive messages that sometimes don't come up as much in the space.
It is about money. Everybody's in crypto for money, but this is so much more. When people message you and they say they can do this now, they can do this, and they've never been able to do this, people like me don't understand that, because I'm not saying that I'm well off or anything, but I'm from the UK, and things are a bit easier, a lot easier than other countries. So for this to change people's lives, to me now, the money is nothing. Money's nothing. It's just that's what it's about.
Well, yeah, exactly. And like obviously, crypto and money go hand in hand to some extent. Like people don't come in here. I mean, people come in here for the money to begin with, oftentimes, and then you're able to find these things like community and that along the way. So I love how you guys are so focused on the community there. Kind of in terms of the actual, I do obviously, we kind of have to jump into some of the technical details of the blockchain itself, but I'd really love to better understand how you guys actually came up with this concept and kind of where you found a need to bring something new into the space and kind of like obviously this will be a mix of a little bit about yourself and obviously Robert's vision, but
yeah, for me, I wasn't part of bringing it in or anything like that. I just came along for the ride, really. When I first started promoting it, I even had a laugh with people when I was out there saying, "Listen, I don't know nothing about this, but this is going to be massive." And people were joining just over that. Just honest, just honesty. Now, for the technical side and how it came, it would have to be Robert who answered that one, because I'm not part of that kind of the side of the project.
yeah, I just shot Robert the message in DM as well, so we can get the answers pecked up in them.
Yeah, you might have to bear with us, guys, because like I explained with translation, I know it can be a bit of a pain sometimes, but it is what it is. I'm the speaker.
Yeah, so this not the first time we had a team from Italy here with a translator live. We've had a team from the Philippines here with a translator live. We've had my boy Dars from Matoshi, who's from Russia, who had a Russian translator from Canada, actually, live in the AMA to do the live translation. So, I mean, that's the thing about crypto. It's very global. I never have anybody. I always tell anybody, don't hesitate. Never shy away from answering a question, regardless if you have an accent, if English is second language. That's why we're here. We can kind of bridge the gap and help ensure that you feel comfortable. So, yeah, that's kind of whenever Robert has the chance, we'll just kind of go through some of the technical stuff. Well, Connor, while we're getting that answer, why don't we get into some of the marketing? Because I know that's really where you're going to be able to cover off a little bit more and jump into as well. So why don't we take a little bit of this one and do marketing first, and we can jump into some of the more technical stuff later on.
Yeah, so far, we've only touched on marketing. Even though we've done a lot, we're going to do a hell of a lot. The reason being, we haven't launched the product yet. But we've done we've done one public test, one test behind closed doors. We've had, tacky calls supporting us, not as in a sponsorship, just because of seeing us as a community. We had cowboy tweeters off Twitter, various just calls constantly each day. But that'll just get more intense. But the plan moving forward, what we've just announced yesterday, we're partnering up with a team called Fox Play Token, who are a play to earn token. Now, reason we're doing that, they're going to be using our blockchain to launch their NFTs. So they've only just started as well. So their first NFTs are going to be on our first blockchain, which will be really exciting. And we can support each other. Like I said, we're both the same age, more or less. What we're going to do today
airdrop, how big of an airdrop do you guys typically do? Only reason I ask is because obviously sometimes people are like, well, what happens if they sell it? Well, you guys are, I'm assuming, aren't giving enough to make it, even if they sell, have any impact. It's just more so notoriety and engaging with different communities, correct?
Well, yeah, I said this last night. So at first, I didn't even say. I just thought airdrop. Let's go. Give all customers this amount, and then I thought, no, let's give. We'll announce the figures later, but we'll give so many amount to each customer, each investors. I said customers because I'm in sales as a profession, so I'm sorry about that. But yes, investors. But then we'll also randomly give bigger amounts to some of the airdrops. The only criteria will be to share the tweet, most likely. Share the tweet, join the Telegram. I haven't tweeted yet, so but yeah, share the tweet, join the Telegrams, and then we will be airdropping. I think we're going to do 500 a piece, so we're going to do 1,000 airdrops. Some will be the same amounts, but like I said, some will be bigger amounts. And just because you're already an investor, you're not going to miss out. You're going to get airdrops as well and be involved. And we're also going to do it for new investors who are looking as well for both partnerships, Fox and us, Loop. Why we wanted to do it as well, I never touched on that. People these days do not invest in just one coin. Very rarely, anyway. So people are always searching for this next investment. What I'd like to bring to each of them is a safe place they can invest where they aren't going to get scammed. They aren't going to. So I know both won't do that. So I think that's a good thing as well. That I can. I'm not saying that you're going to multiply your money on each of them by this, by that. What I'm saying is they're both safe places to invest, so you're not going to go home being broke or being scammed or anything like that, which I think is fantastic as well when you're partnering up with somebody to give your customers like a safe haven kind of thing. And there should be more of it. I think sometimes projects are scared to partner up in case they lose investors to the other side. But what I say, then you're not good enough yourself if you feel like that.
It's funny because I say the same thing about like other call channels and other promotional groups. It's like, dude, people were like, oh, I don't want to mention the call channel. We have a thing, or like, I don't know, want to mention who we had done one with previously, just because it's competition. I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, it's competition, but at the same time, it's like not really competition. Like, I mean, personally, I just kind of do my own thing. I don't really worry with what other channels do all the time or what anybody's doing really. Just kind of head down. I focus on my partners, focus on the job, and whatever happens, happens. And I'm always one that really is like, we can't really focus on the scalability side of the blockchain. And that's what I really liked about it.
think we lost each other then.
I just, I just went back on mute so Robert could chat, but I messaged him as well because I told him if he wanted to just type me out the answers, I'd be happy to run through them for everybody as well. Because
Beautiful.
that's the thing. Like I know technically, like if I tried to ask Robert the technical questions, I wouldn't even understand probably half the stuff he was telling me. So like what he's got in his brain and what I understand.
Honestly, not just that. This man has changed my view on everything. I came into Loop Network hating crypto because I'd been scammed and rubbed that many times, and I more or less give up. And then to work with somebody like this has totally changed it, and he's been the most nervous man to come on here. And you don't understand what that's just took for him to do. But that's what kind of guy he is, and he'll do anything for Loop Network. And
I know, and like I love his passion. You really sold me on his background yesterday when we chatted. So to give you guys some background, Connor and I spent an hour yesterday in a private VC.
It was supposed to be about 3-minute call, weren't it? It was supposed to be about 3 minutes, and when we came off, it was about an hour and a half.
Hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes or something like that when all said and done. So I got a lot of insight into like the project and how detailed they are, and like these guys are really so from speaking to Robert in terms of their actual concept, so the vision and how they started this out with the blockchain was they're trying to come to the market to focus on scalability and high throughput. The point of this blockchain is not to compete with your BSCs, your Ethereums. It's to essentially allow people scalability and high throughput in the blockchain. You guys know how slow some of these blockchains can be. You guys understand from a gas perspective what the fees on these blockchains can be sometimes. So Robert and the team are really trying to find a supplementary solution to allow sent to like a scam wallet, because why is this taking so long? And eventually it went through, but no word of a lie. I like 9:15 last night. Randomly, it took me 2.5 minutes for a 0.1 BNB transaction to go through.
If you've got 5 minutes after we've done in the AMA, it'd be nice for you to pop to our Telegram and test it if that's possible yourself.
Yeah.
How fast it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
But just want to make sure. And that's what I love about it. And like that's why I think like you guys are shaking up the space a little bit. I know what you're trying to do and what you're trying to implement into the space is it's an amazing idea. 2, there's a huge need for it. 3, I know there's other competitors in the space who are kind of nervous. I mean, we're not going to touch on any names, but I know that there are some people in the space who are kind of within similar products that are getting a little nervous that you guys are are seeing this level of success, and the product itself, which is obviously going to be able to set you apart, has been really successful so far in the early testing stages. So
yeah, it's been a bit of a ride with like I said, we won't mention no names, but it has been a bit of a ride with the some of the, let's say, competitors out there, and in the end, I believe they've some of them, or at least one, has changed their product to something similar. Hours. I'm paying £1 for each MP3 song I download to send. My phone's full of them. We've got some of the other projects, some of their admin and everything, chilling out in our Telegram for hours, just to have a laugh with us and party with us, essentially. Even though we're on a Telegram, I can see people smiling behind the phones, if you get me. When I'm typing to somebody and we're having a laugh, I know they're smiling and I know they're happy because of what we're doing. I bring nothing technical, but I bring something else, and I don't know what that is, but people seem to enjoy it. Some people hate it, but that's not in our Telegram. That's the other people who don't like Loop, who seem to dislike me. But I think that's a good thing, quite bullish as well, that I get attacked when I go places over being part of Loop. But also, I can walk into even though we've been going 2 weeks, I can walk into a launch on a Telegram channel and people start chanting Loop or Connor. And I don't even know who they are. They're not even part of Loop, but they've been in our Telegram, or they've been part and sold, or they're still there. And it's just crazy how 2 weeks ago you weren't that well known. You were known by quite a few people, but then now everybody seems to know you wherever you go. And that's because of Loop. That's how big and strong the name's getting.
yeah, and Robert mentioned, he just sent me a note as well. So he mentioned that the team and the project actually has plans to work with advanced DeFi, which essentially will allow them. So if a suspicious contract or a potential honeypot is on the network, or has been kind of flagged, it won't allow like a potential suspicious contract or a potential honeypot contract to add the liquidity into their swap application that exists on the blockchain. So there are some really, really cool and unique security features that Robert has already thought through, that they have already kind of implemented into the back end. So I mean, it's really, really impressive, and
game changer.
Yeah, like Robert, what he has in his head and what he's bringing to the table. I mean, we do understand like language and stuff is sometimes a barrier, but I personally connect to people, and listening to you for like an hour yesterday talk about Robert's like vision and passion for the project and the community's backing of his vision was really, really impressive. So that's why I'm so
on that point that you just said about the like protecting people from honeypots and things like that. Who does that at the minute? Nobody cares. Nobody seems to care. Everyone just seems to accept it as that it's a part of cryptocurrency. It's part of the BSC. It's wrong in every way. It shouldn't happen. There should be. I'm not saying I know what should be in place, but there should be something in place. And with Robert doing that's a game changer for me. I listen to the technical stuff, but it goes over my head. So, but that for me, buy that straight away. If I'm protected more, because I've been scammed that many times, it's just I can't count. So if this were launched a long time ago, I'd be a rich man.
Yeah, and Robert also mentioned from obviously is one of the key focal points for this blockchain is the high throughput. So one of the ways that they are looking to increase the transaction speed on the blockchain is by building out a technology called sharding, which is essentially, like I said, I'm not the technical guy, but it's a great explanation, which essentially divides the CPU load into different layers for quicker transactions. So that technology was called sharding. So thanks so much, Robert, for providing some additional technical stuff as well throughout the conversation. But it's a really exciting time to be learning about this project. And if you guys actually, we'll do the transition afterwards. I'll try and jump into the Telegram. We'll run a quick test over there. But yeah, like I'll have a report back for you. Do you have a video right now of the current test that you guys have run that's posted in the Telegram?
I think people have posted it in comments on this post.
Oh, awesome! I was going to say,
I think anyway, when I was scrolling through, I think there's posts on there.
Okay, I was going to say I'll drop it in the comments section if anybody hasn't already, so they can actually see the test.
We want your test in the comments section, so you can prove it to them. That's your giveaway.
Oh yeah, awesome! Thanks, whoever's been running the comment section. Nice job, guys. I like it. Oh yeah, they did throw that test. Nice. You guys didn't have a pre-sale, correct? I believe it was the fair launch with at that starting cap. Like
correct. I think I don't think it were very much starting cap.
It was only 44K. 40K.
Yeah. No,
44K.
44.
Yeah.
44. 40, I don't know. No, $44, weren't it? I think it was smaller than 44K. Might not have been, but I came in about 8 hours later, so I don't know the initial starting cap, but I'm sure it was smaller than that. One of the people will be able to tell you in the comments, or Robert may be able to tell you.
Oh yeah, no, it was. It was $44.
$44, and I came in
about that.
I came in about 50, 60, I think it was, market cap. We seemed to get stuck at 80 for about a day and a half, and then we absolutely skyrocketed to 850. And then in crypto, you get your people sell. Some started selling, and then we started getting bot attacked by competitors coming in saying this, saying you can't do this, we proved it, saying you can't do this, we proved it, you can't do this though, we proved it. And that's what we keep doing. Every time somebody says we can't do something, we'll knock them back down and we'll prove it. I get a bit passionate.
I can't believe I misread that. That's actually crazy. 44. Wow, that's a tiny cap, right? So, I mean, Robert's vision is really, really cool. I'll do that. I'll do that test afterwards. Obviously, I can't migrate right now, but okay. Yeah, that's. I thought I read 44K